The Vikings, seafaring warriors and traders from Scandinavia, left an indelible mark on world history. Renowned for their sailing abilities and martial prowess, they explored, traded with, and raided regions as far-flung as North America, Central Asia, and North Africa. But who were the individuals that led these daring voyages and fearless warriors? In this journey through the annals of history, we're going to explore the lives, exploits, and legacies of the 10 greatest Viking leaders of all time. Let's begin with Rollo, also known as Rolf the Ganger. Born in Norway, Rollo was a formidable warrior who led Viking expeditions to Francia in the late 9th and early 10th centuries. His most notable achievement came in 911, when he secured a treaty with King Charles III of West Francia. This treaty of St. Clair-sur-Epte granted Rollo and his followers land, which would become the Duchy of Normandy. In return, Rollo pledged to protect Francia from other Viking raids and converted to Christianity. His descendants would have a profound impact on European history, including his great-great-great-grandson, William the Conqueror. Next on our list is Eric the Red, a man as fiery as his moniker suggests. Eric was a Norwegian-born Viking who founded the first Norse settlements in Greenland. Exiled from both Norway and Iceland due to violent disputes, Eric sailed west to a land known to be rich in resources, but considered too remote and inhospitable. Eric, however, saw its potential and established 2 main settlements, which lasted for several centuries. Eric the Red's real political genius was his branding of Greenland as an attractive place to lure potential settlers. Our third Viking leader is Leif Erikson, the son of Eric the Red. Leif is widely believed to be the first European to set foot on North America, specifically in areas of Newfoundland in modern-day Canada, almost 500 years before Christopher Columbus. His voyages to Vinland were recorded in Norse sagas and later confirmed by archaeological discoveries in the 1960s. Leif Erikson's voyages expanded the Viking world, proving their seafaring capabilities reached further than ever imagined. The fourth Viking leader we'll discuss is Harald Hardrada. Harald's life was one of relentless ambition and constant warfare. From his involvement in battles in modern-day Russia and Ukraine to his service in the elite Varangian Guard of the Byzantine Emperor, Harald's exploits spanned the Viking world. However, he's most remembered for his claim to the English throne in 1066, which led to the pivotal Battle of Stamford Bridge, where he met his end. His death marked the conclusion of Viking invasions in England. Next up is Sven Forkbeard. Sven was the king of Denmark and England and also claimed the Norwegian throne. Sven rebelled against his father, King Harald Bluetooth, taking the Danish throne for himself. He then embarked on a series of raids against England, culminating in his conquest of the country in 1013. Sven's rule was short-lived as he died just 5 weeks after being declared King of England. His legacy, however, lived on through his son, Canute the Great. Speaking of Canute the Great, he is our next Viking leader. Canute was one of the most effective Viking rulers. He successfully conquered England, ruled Denmark, and asserted his authority over Norway. His reign over these territories, known as the North Sea Empire, is considered the peak of Viking expansion. Canute was more than just a warrior. He was a shrewd and diplomatic ruler. He fostered good relations with the church and effectively managed his vast empire, leaving a lasting legacy on the English throne. Moving on, we have Bjorn Ironside. Bjorn, a legendary figure rumored to be a son of the famed Ragnar Lothbrok, was a formidable raider and ruler. He is best known for his raids on France and Italy, including a daring but unsuccessful attempt to sack Rome. Despite this failure, his audacious exploits made him one of the most feared Vikings of his time. Bjorn later became a king of Sweden, according to Norse sagas, establishing a dynasty that would rule for generations. Next on our list is Ivar the Boneless, another son of Ragnar Lothbrok. According to legend, Ivar was a clever strategist and ruthless warrior. He is most famous for his involvement in the invasion of Anglo-Saxon England. Ivar's reputation soared following the capture and gruesome execution of King Aella of Northumbria, who is said to have killed Ivar's father. Ivar's cunning and ruthless nature earned him a fearsome reputation, making him one of the most remembered Viking leaders. Our ninth Viking leader is Harald Fairhair, traditionally regarded as the first king of Norway. Harald is known for his reported consolidation of several small kingdoms into one, to form a unified Norway. His motivation, as romantic as it was ambitious, was to impress a woman who said she would only marry him if he became king of all Norway. Harald's successful unification of Norway marked the beginning of a new era in Viking history. Finally, we reach the legendary figure of Ragnar Lothbrok. While there's debate among historians about Ragnar's historical existence, the sagas portray him as a legendary Viking hero and king, famed for his incredible exploits, his many formidable sons, and his dramatic, snake-infested end at the hands of King Aella of Northumbria. Whether he existed or not, Ragnar Lothbrok's legacy lives on in the sagas and the history of his reputed sons. These 10 figures, from cunning strategists to audacious explorers to powerful monarchs, represent the epitome of Viking leadership. They shaped the course of Viking history through their exploits, leaving legacies that survived long after their passing. Their stories, steeped in courage, ambition, and a thirst for exploration, continue to captivate us, serving as enduring testaments to the Viking spirit. In exploring the lives of these extraordinary Viking leaders, we're reminded of the remarkable reach and impact of Viking culture. These leaders were not only influential in the Norse world, but also played significant roles on the broader stage of world history. From founding kingdoms to pioneering exploration, these Viking leaders helped shape the world as we know it. As we delve into these stories of Viking leadership, we gain a greater appreciation of Viking society and culture. These were not just warriors and raiders, but also explorers, settlers, and kings. They forged alliances, negotiated with foreign powers, and ruled over vast territories. In the process, they left a lasting legacy that continues to resonate throughout history. While these 10 leader stories are unique, they all embody the quintessential Viking spirit of resilience, ambition, and exploration. They pushed boundaries, challenged the status quo, and often overcame significant odds to achieve their goals. They were not just leaders, but also symbols of their culture and era. In this exploration of the 10 greatest Viking leaders, we've journeyed through turbulent battles, daring explorations, and intricate political maneuvers. We've seen the rise and fall of kingdoms, the expansion of Viking influence, and the personal ambitions and desires that drove these individuals to achieve their remarkable feats. As we conclude this journey through the annals of Viking history, we're left with a greater understanding of the figures who shaped this fascinating era. These leaders, through their deeds and legacies, have given us a richer, more nuanced view of Viking culture and society. They've shown us that the Vikings were more than just raiders and warriors. They were also explorers, settlers, and influential political figures. We've seen how Rollo, a Viking adventurer, became the founder of a dynasty that would have a profound impact on European history. We've witnessed the daring explorations of Eric the Red and Leif Erikson, who ventured into uncharted territories and established new settlements. We've explored the ambitious campaigns of Harald Hardrada and Sven Forkbeard, who fought to expand their kingdoms and assert their power. We've admired the audacity of Bjorn Ironside, whose daring raids struck fear into the hearts of his enemies. We've delved into the cunning strategies of Ivar the Boneless, who avenged his father's death and carved out a kingdom in foreign lands. We've seen the unifying efforts of Harald Fairhair, who brought together disparate kingdoms to form a unified Norway. And finally, we've encountered the legendary figure of Ragnar Lothbrok, whose larger-than-life exploits continue to captivate our imaginations. Whether he existed or not, his presence in the sagas and the legacies of his reputed sons serve as a powerful symbol of the Viking spirit. These are the stories of the 10 greatest Viking leaders. Their stories of ambition and courage, exploration and conquest, power and legacy. They show us the many facets of Viking leadership and the diverse paths these individuals took to leave their mark on history. As we step away from these tales of Viking leaders, we carry with us a deeper understanding of this captivating era. We're left with a greater appreciation of the complex individuals who led these seafaring warriors and the diverse roles they played in shaping their society and the wider world. The legacy of these Viking leaders continues to resonate. Their stories serve as a reminder of the indomitable Viking spirit, of the courage and ambition that drove them to venture beyond the known world, to challenge their enemies, and to carve out their place in history. So, here's to the 10 greatest Viking leaders, the fearless warriors and audacious explorers who dared to dream big, fight hard, and sail into the unknown. Their tales of courage, cunning, and conquest continue to inspire, reminding us of the profound impact individuals can have on the course of history. Thank you for joining us on this journey through Viking history. Stay tuned for more exciting explorations into the past as we uncover the stories and individuals that have shaped our world. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep making history come alive.